Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I hope everyone's going to have a wonderful day today. Yes I do. And today we're doing KSCRAFT, and we're going to use the gingerbread baking rack and stamp set. So I've tried to be prepared because you know me. Yep. And I have already stamped and cut the baking rack. So if you look there, you can see it is gold, and the ink that I've used on that is the archival pigment ink. This is years old, this one. It's called Galaxy Gold, and it is by Sucking. So there you go, Sucking. So I've used that and I've stamped that, and the words that I want on here, because it's like cookie words that will go onto here, and that is gingerbread hug. So that's what I'm having, so that I'm sending somebody a gingerbread hug. And what I've done here is I've used the same ink and stamped it onto the same white cardstock. Please excuse my throat. And that's what we've got at the moment. So that's the level of my organisation this morning. Now I'm hoping that I've got enough ink left on here to just do a light shadow around my cookie tray. I don't want to overdo it. Just want a little bit of a shadow, that's all. So you can see I've already used up most of the ink that was on this, and this is basically just my leftovers, just giving me a little edge. Now you can stamp it in whatever colour you want to. You can do it onto black cardstock and use gold or silver embossing powder to make it stand up, or basically stamp in whatever colour you choose. I think that stamp actually would make a great die. Right, so now I've got a nice edge to my tray. Now I'm looking at this side of the head and thinking I want a bit more, so that's what I'm going to do. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just doing the embellishment for today, because those are the elements, and of course you pop that onto a card or use it as a tag. So with my letters, because I've used the same colours, I'm going to hold one up for you. They're not going to be as, let's see how close we can go, as apparent when, there you go, when popping down onto some white cardstock. So if I just pop that down onto that, that's going to get very lost on there. So what I'm doing is I'm using a marker, and I'm trying to use up my old markers. So today I'm using the Copic Sketch, and this is E13. I've got my white Artistro, and I've also got my gold sparkle pen. And somebody was asking about these the other day. It's a Uniball Signo, and they're just called sparkle pens. You get them in gold, silver. I don't know if they've launched any other colours. I've never really looked, but I do love my gold and silver pens, and these live on my desk. And just to prove it, you know, there's the silver one. So they're always on my table. But I'm using gold because by using alcohol ink onto my archival, I might wash it out. And I've also got my pickup tool here. So my gold pen is an insurance policy of it being washed out. And all that I simply want to do is just go over and colour these cookies. And I can clean my table afterwards. And I'm hoping that when I've done that, because I didn't test it out before coming online, you know me, I'm going to pick that up, and I'm hoping that I can see, I'm looking for myself here, if the alcohol ink washed out the archival, if you can see that. You can just about see it. So maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but I'm going to use my sparkle pen anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on colouring those letters using this pen, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did that, and to be honest, I really didn't think it would wash out as much of that gold archival as it has. So, you know, you've done something and you have to make your lemonade out of your lemons, especially when you gave yourself lemons. So I'm going to go using this again and what's left on it, and I just want to do a drop shadow on the front before I do anything else. And I've got little bits of fluff coming off because this is an old blender. So I'm going to do, I just want to catch the fronts of these. Maybe a little bit underneath. So I'm going to finish these, and then we're going to come back and I'm just going to have to decorate them myself. That's what I'm going to have to do. That'll teach me to make my errors. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've dropped the camera down so that you can have a closer look, I hope, because it's a bit dark outside today, I have to admit. And all I've done is put a little bit of black Distress Oxide on the edge of each of the letters, and I hope you can see that. It's just right there on the edge. Now I've obliterated my gold, so once you've put this amount of effort into something, you want to be able to rescue it. So I'm going to use my white fine liner from Amazon, and I'm just going to do wavy lines and dots. That's going to be my cheat. So I'm just going to sort of think about how I want my wavy lines, and I'm going to go in there first. And I'm hoping that you can see. You just have to pretend you're in the kitchen and you got your piping bag out and you're just, you know, having a bit of fun. So I'm going to go wave some gold dots. That's all I'm going to do. And if I get the fancy to go a bit stripy, I might do that too. But hopefully I'm going to be able to successfully rescue my error. Now I know I can still see just a little bit of gold underneath the alcohol ink, but it's not so apparent that when you're giving it to someone as a card or a tag that they're going to be able to see it. So I'm having white frosting and gold dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off my white frosting and I'll be right back. Right, so I've rescued the letters that I cut out, and I've done little white wavy lines, as you can see, and I've done some random dots. Now the reason for the random dots is because I want my gold to show up and I don't want it to get lost. So I'm just going to put down some gold right on top of all of those white dots. I'm going to pick one up and show you, and then I'm going to go and finish the rest of my little gold dots. So let's have a look. Whoops, let's pick that up again. Let's try holding it a different way. Oh, yeah, it's getting really stormy here. See if I can hold it like that. Hope you can see that. Things don't look as pretty when they're so close up, but I just like to hold things up to the camera because then I can go in and correct them, because I can see them a lot better. So I'm just going to finish doing my gold dots, which should now stand out, and I will be right back. So I finished doing that, and now I need to pop them onto here. So I'm separating my letters so that they'll fit, you know, kind of cascading down. Now, because they're cookies and they'd be scattered on a tray, you don't have to be perfectly straight. So you will get a close-up of these letters once I'm able to pick the whole thing up. But it's just nice that, you know, with a couple of pens you can rescue what you did. So I like to do my first and last first. So that I can see where I'm going. And then any bits of fluff, make sure you get rid of those. And then the other letters need to, you know, just kind of be spaced in between. I hope everyone's going to have a good day. I don't know what your weather's like. I know we've got various storms and whatnot blowing through. I want that one up there. And we've had an awfully large amount of rain, I have to tell you now. It caused all the leaves on my fig trees to fall off. Because when you get a lot of rain, fig trees get rust. Right, so I'm going to move my G up there a bit more. There. So there we've got our ginger. And then I'm going to do the bread. I'm going to go lower down for that. Now if you've got a face stamp, you could totally use that over the top. That would look really cute. And I may do that in a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my B there. And then I'm going to cascade it down a bit, I think. Just to make sure that I've got space for what I'm doing. So I'm going quite close. And then I'm going to have my A. And I'm going to put the D there. And then I'm going to put my hug in this region. But I need there to be enough space so that it's not colliding with my bread. I'm going to go there. Right onto the edge. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and grab a Peachy Keen stamp and put a face onto the tray. Let's see how close we can get. There you go. So that you've got your sparkly bits back in. I mean, to be honest with you, I should have known that the alcohol ink was going to wash that archival out, which is a shame, but never mind. We all make mistakes, so you can learn from mine. Right, I'll just grab that Peachy Keen stamp and I'll be right back. Right, so I'm going to be using the largest face stamp in the Sweet and Innocent set. And I'm pretty sure Peachy Keen still does this set, so I'm just inking it up with black archival. I like this one because it's a true black. You've heard me talk about that before, and I've actually shown you the difference. I love VersaFine because you get a beautiful outline, but it's more of a charcoal grey than black when compared to this. Now, I'm just standing up for a minute so that I can get myself in straight. I'm going to go there. And there we go. So now, if you want to, you can add some colour. And if you give me a second, I'll just grab a couple of pens. Right, so I managed to grab these, and I've got my Copic BG10 and B24, and I'm also using one of these, a tri-blend, and I'm going to go with the light. So I'm using this just to put a little bit of colour in the mouth there. So now we've got a cheeky little mouth, and I'm going to use this darker blue just around the edge here. And then I've got that aqua, which I think I might use just to make the eyes stand out a little bit more from that white background. And then I've got my white paint pen again, and I'm just going to dot some light right into those eyes like that. So now we've got, you know, more of a little character. Of course I could get my chalk and I could do the cheeks as well, but should I? Yeah, hang on a second. Right, so I've just grabbed my birthday suit palette pastel, and I'm going to use that pink there. So we're going to have some little cheeky cheeks. Just move my glue and my mini ink pad, and we're going to go into here, and you need ever such a little bit. I'm just going to pop that there. And then I just want to blend it off the edge just slightly. Oh, you know, when you get your chalks out, I'm telling you, you've got to get yourself some chalks, you really do. Because when you get them out, you start getting carried away and start thinking about, ooh, where could I put other stuff then? You know, and you just start doing. So now I'm going into the brown, and I'm going to see what happens when I do the base of these letters, just to add a little bit more character into them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And what you thought was going to be half an hour turns into all day, but that's great. I love it when I craft and the day vanishes. Not that I don't enjoy the day, but it just means you've had great fun. There. So now we've got a little bit more of a highlight upon our letters, and we've got a happy smiley face in our gingerbread hug, and I hope you can see the gold on there now. As I'm always saying, they're my favourite pens because they're the most sparkly, but I love that. So, you know, you can punch a hole there and make a tag, or that's going to be a great embellishment on a card if you've got a little rolling pin stamp or something like that, and you just want to dot that around. It's just going to look absolutely awesome. I think that's so cute. And I thank you so much for joining me today. I always do, even when I digress and ramble on. But do have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.